Hello and welcome back to From Logic to Living, day 20, the second last day today. Yeah, and I'm sending you beach and um, sunny vibes from Turkey. I talked about yesterday how this is a very special week for me because I'm back in that place where I decided to change my life back in 2021, November 2021. And yeah, I truly could not have imagined back then that I was able to build a life with this kind of freedom, ease, joy, fulfillment, aliveness. And it is just so amazing where life takes you if you trust, if you dare, if you move. And today I want to talk a little bit more about what has changed and how my life feels now versus how it felt back then and what is possible. Yeah, so back then I still remember everything. I was very much under constant pressure. There was no space. Almost every minute of the day was planned. I mean, I tried to optimize everything also, right? Because this is what we're told, right? You just need better time management. And then this is what we start doing, right? Because of course I did want to do my workout and I did do my yoga practice or my meditation and breath practice from 2021 on. So basically woke up, did these practices, started work, had lunch, and then in the beginning, I still went to workouts in the evening. Later on, I switched that to the morning, but I still remember that basically every minute was planned. And I it was planned in a way that if I was running 10 minutes late, the whole schedule would fall apart, right? So I really had to make sure that everything worked on the minute. And there was like constant, I was so much in my head, constant thinking, trying to figure everything out, feeling like I had to control everything, but feeling completely overwhelmed, didn't know how, I can make things work or how I should control all of that. Also, I felt like I didn't have time for the important things in life. So be this, more time for yoga and my meditation practice, or be it time with family, be it time with friends or my partner. I felt like, yeah, I didn't have time for the things that really mattered. And being tied to 28 vacation days, I, f- I felt like I could not do the kind of vacation I wanted to do, right? Because I wanted to travel. I wanted also to have relaxing vacation where you just hang out on the beach, you read, you work out. So basically what we're doing now. I also wanted to have time for a vacation with family. And there was, yeah, with 28 days, it's really not that much. Yeah, and actually now it's very different. So my life it is very different, it feels very different. It feels calmer, there is more space, it feels more grounded. I'm not constantly on edge, I'm not constantly under pressure, even though the uncertainty is much bigger now, actually. And even though I'm building a business, right, where you would think that maybe this is much more pressure and stress. And that doesn't mean, there aren't moments where I feel that, but at least I'm not constantly feeling that. And also my days, I love that I'm really owning my time now. And my most favorite days are those where I just know what I have to do, but I have zero schedule. So there is no fixed appointment in my day. So I wake up, sometimes at 6, sometimes at 7, also depends on how I feel. There's days where at 6 I'm wide awake and I'm ready to get the day started. And there's days where I'm just feeling super tired, and then I just sleep another hour. And then I do my yoga practice. I do some embodiment practices. I do some visualization, connecting myself with my future vision, um, mindset work that gets me in the right space for the day. I go for a walk. I have breakfast. I go to the gym, and then I start work. I start work at 10 or 11. And then, yeah, sometimes, I finish at 7 or 8, and sometimes I don't. Sometimes I finish earlier. And it's no longer about, oh, you have to work 8 hours. It's more like, what do I have to get done? And then also, am I in a super creative space? And then sometimes I just work longer without even having to force, because it feels so different. There is no longer this resistance. It's so intrinsic that it doesn't even feel like work. And it's more like a creative expression. And still, it doesn't mean that I work 8 hours every day. Sometimes I finish early, and I mean, I still do long lunch breaks. So I always go for a walk during lunch. I love listening to podcasts or, coaching. Um, yeah, and I love that everything that I do feels like it's moving me in the direction I want to go. Everything that I do is so intrinsically motivated. It's no longer, oh, I have to do this because I get paid for this. Oh, I have to do this because people expect this from me. Oh, I have to do this because committed to that, and now I have to do it. Yeah, so there's also a lot less urgency, a lot more creativity, a lot more flow, going with my own rhythm on days where, oh yeah, last week, for example, when I got my period, I just, yeah, rested more because spontaneously I could. And then, I mean, today is Sunday. I am on vacation, but I took an hour to work on my landing page for my free event on the beach. And that feels completely fine. It's not like, I mean, I would not have done any other kind of work from here, because that would not feel intrinsically motivated and not something that I really want to do, and not something that's necessarily bringing me closer to my own goal, my own vision. So I definitely would not have done any kind of consulting work or anything in that form. But this feels different. And this is really what I love about that. Now I don't have this separation between work and life anymore. So it feels much more that everything I do is my life, and everything I do feels alive. And this is really something that I love. And I feel like I'm living my life again, even when I'm working. And before that, it was more like I'm working, I'm putting life on hold, I'm trying to get the money in, and then I'm coming back to life, so to say. Okay, so anything else I wanted to mention? Yeah, definitely also, I love that I get to take vacation as much as I want. So, for example, now we're here, so my partner and me and my mom. And since I've been self-employed, we did this every year that we plan a vacation with the family. And this is so great because before it was always a bit like, do we go on vacation with the family? But then this would take away time from, other things we could do because we were kind of restricted to 28 days. I mean, and now we can just do whatever we want. And it's no longer this either or, right? We can just do it all. It doesn't mean we could go or wanted to go on vacation the whole year, but at least, if it's 25 or 35 or 40 days, and also because for me anyway, it's no longer this, now it's vacation, now it's work. I mean, I'm definitely working less this week. Um, and I'm not gonna work every day, but there is some things I want to get finished this week, and so I will work a couple of hours here and there. And it feels so much freer because obviously, of course, I can also work from wherever I want. So I just love the freedom that I have now. Yeah. And also in terms of where we live, right? They basically could live anywhere in the world now. So I just love to have this maximum freedom for how I live my life. Yeah. And yeah, I think one more key point I wanted to mention is presence. So because I have much space and things don't feel rushed anymore, I can, and I do take the time for little things like the walks, or I sit on a balcony and enjoy my coffee, or I meet people for lunch. I mean, I did that before, also meeting people for lunch, but also only really since I'm self-employed. Yeah, just having the time to do that and taking time to enjoy that is leads to so much more presence and enjoying the simple things more because yeah, I mean, enjoyment needs time and presence. If you just rush through your day and everything is scheduled in a way that you can't be late 5 minutes for anything, then it's much harder to be present. It's not impossible, but it's much harder. Yeah, and this is what is possible if you become self-led. If you change the way you move, if you make decisions from a different place, if you don't wait for circumstances to change your life, but you change how you move, how you act. And this is the work I do. And this is what I help people become independent from their circumstances, much more connected to their intuition. So, yeah, if that is something that calls, speaks to you, sings to you, I'm gonna open the registration for my free event end of May tomorrow, which is called Co-Creation with the Divine, because hustling alone has the worst ROI, so return on invest. So if we really just get stuck in the hustling, the forcing, the pushing, we don't get where we want, and also the way that we get there is much less enjoyable. I'm gonna share more details about the event tomorrow. So if I hope you will be back for my final live stream of the From Logic to Living Challenge tomorrow. And yeah, just stay positive, stay optimistic. I think what I see a lot is, and I think it's understandable, but that people become more focused on the challenges and what is hard and what's not possible, but there is still a lot of possibility and potentiality out there, and things can change and things can improve. And if you show up every single day for your life, you will see the effect. I promise you. Okay. Thank you for being here and see you tomorrow.